A deep voice rises over the silence. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take Aaron and his sons with him, along with the sacred garments, the anointing oil, the bull for the sin offering, 2 rams, and the basket of unleavened bread. Gather all the congregation at the entrance of the tent of meeting." And Moses did exactly as the Lord commanded. The people assembled, standing in awe before the presence of God. Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded to be done." He brought Aaron and his sons forward and washed them with water. He clothed Aaron with the tunic, fastened the sash around him, placed the robe upon him, and set the ephod in position, binding it securely with skill and purpose. Then he placed the breastplate on him, and within it the Urim and the Thummim. He set the turban on Aaron's head and fastened the golden plate, the holy crown, just as the Lord had commanded. Then Moses took the anointing oil and consecrated the tabernacle and everything within it. He sprinkled the altar 7 times, anointing it, making it holy. He poured the oil upon Aaron's head, anointing him, setting him apart. Aaron's sons were brought near, clothed in garments, belts tied, head coverings placed upon them, just as the Lord had commanded. Then the offering began. The bull for the sin offering was brought forward, and hands were laid upon its head. It was sacrificed before the Lord. Blood was taken and placed upon the horns of the altar, cleansing it, making atonement. The fat, the kidneys, the liver were burned upon the altar, but the rest was taken outside the camp and burned with fire. Then came the ram for the burnt offering. Hands were laid upon its head, and it too was sacrificed. Its blood was sprinkled around the altar, its pieces arranged, its head, its fat, all consumed by fire. A burnt offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Then the second ram was brought, the ram of ordination. Its blood was placed on Aaron's right ear, his right thumb, and his right big toe. And the same was done to his sons. They were marked, set apart, dedicated completely. Offerings were lifted before the Lord, waved as a sacred act of devotion, then burned upon the altar, a holy offering, a fragrant sacrifice. Moses took the anointing oil and the blood from the altar and sprinkled it upon Aaron, his garments, his sons, and their garments. They were made holy. Then Moses spoke, "Remain at the entrance of the tent of meeting for 7 days. Do not leave, for your ordination will last 7 days. Follow the Lord's command. so that you may live. And Aaron and his sons did everything the Lord commanded through Moses.
Quiet dawn breaks, the air heavy with expectation. On the 8th day Moses called Aaron, his sons, and the elders of Israel. He said to Aaron, "Take for yourself a calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering, both without blemish, and present them before the Lord. And speak to the people of Israel, saying, Take a male goat for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both a year old and without defect, for a burnt offering. Also take an ox and a ram for peace offerings, to sacrifice before the Lord, along with a grain offering mixed with oil. For today the Lord will appear to you." The people brought everything just as Moses commanded. They gathered and stood before the Lord. Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded you to do, so that the glory of the Lord may appear to you." Then Moses said to Aaron, "Come near to the altar, offer your sin offering and your burnt offering, and make atonement for yourself and for the people. Then present the offering of the people and make atonement for them, just as the Lord commanded." So Aaron stepped forward, he slaughtered the calf for his own sin offering. His sons brought him the blood, he dipped his finger into it and touched the horns of the altar, pouring out the rest at its base. The fat, the kidneys, and the covering of the liver he burned on the altar, just as the Lord had commanded. But the flesh and the hide he burned outside the camp. Then he slaughtered the burnt offering, and blood was brought to him, and he sprinkled it all around the altar. Piece by piece the offering was laid out, the head, the parts, all consumed by fire. He washed the entrails and the legs and burned them upon the altar. Then he brought the people's offering. just like the first. He presented the burnt offering according to the command. Then the grain offering, he took a handful and burned it on the altar. Besides the morning sacrifice, next came the peace offerings. The ox and the ram, they were slaughtered. The blood was sprinkled all around the altar. The fat portions, the kidneys, the covering of the liver, all were placed upon the altar and burned. Then Aaron lifted the breast and the right thigh as a wave offering before the Lord, just as Moses had commanded. Then Aaron raised his hands toward the people, and he blessed them, offering the sin offering, the burnt offering, and the peace offerings. He stepped down. Then Moses and Aaron entered the tent of meeting, and when they came out, they blessed the people again. And then the glory of the Lord appeared to all the people. Fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed the offering on the altar. When all the people saw it, they shouted with